Mr. Riley. All right, good morning. Today is Sunday, September the 15th. We have exactly 1 month until October 15th, which is the date I've been using to estimate when Baxter State Park will close for the season. Today's day 136 of our hike on the Appalachian Trail. This is where we set up our tent last night. Right off the trail there. And we are ready to get started here. We had just enough room to set it up. It's kind of nice and flat going this way, but it's slanted going this way, so but it worked out for us. We made it over Mount Washington yesterday, and then made it to Madison Hut, and then made it over Mount Madison. Riley, come on, buddy. Riley, come on, this way. And we are currently still descending Mount Madison, and should get to Pinkham Notch today. It's only about 6 miles away. Come on, Riley. And then after Pinkham Notch, we have the Wildcat Mountain range, which is very steep, very steep. What, Riley? And then shortly after that is Carter Notch Hut. So my preliminary goal today is to try to get at least on top of the Wildcat Mountain range, complete the climb today, and then find a campsite. I think there's a few campsites up there, as well as just a couple tenths of a mile before that. Riley, come on, let's go. And then possibly be able to stop in tomorrow to the hut to get some of the leftover breakfast. So I'm not sure if I clarified that a lot of these huts, they all prepare dinner and breakfast for the guests that are staying there. But of course they need to make sure they have enough food for all the guests. So they're often making more than the guests are able to eat, and they often have leftovers. So whenever they have leftovers, they will generally just put it out into the common area after breakfast and offer it for free. And so when I'm talking about getting breakfast, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting there in time to enjoy the leftovers, which they offer for free. And they'll usually put out like a big bowl of oatmeal and some eggs and some pancakes. Riley, wait. Up. Good boy, Riley. Good boy. Stay there. So we have fully descended from Mount Madison at this point. We're just over a mile into the day, and we got this cool suspension bridge here. The trail is eased up a bit. And I'm hoping it'll stay that way until we get to Pinkham Notch. There's lots of intersecting trails, so we have to be careful to make sure we stay on the AT whenever we get to an intersecting trail. Riley, this way, come on. All right, so we made it to Pinkham Notch a long while ago, and we're just now leaving. And the sun it's past 5 o'clock already. We gotta get up to the next mountain. I think we gotta go over here, because I see that hiker sign over there. We have the Wildcat Mountains to do now. the hike into Pinkham Notch was very pleasant. We actually got here probably like 1:30 or so. And I hiked in with two guys that had seen us at Madison Hut last night, and we were talking with them, and they offered to give me a ride to a grocery store in the town of Bartlett, New Hampshire, about 10 miles to the east down that way. So I accepted their very nice offer, and was able to do an unexpected resupply. So I was able to get a 5-pound bag of dog food and a bunch of other stuff. I got a jar of peanut butter for myself. Come on, Riley. I got 2 cans of soup that I was planning to eat here, but I ended up just not having room for it. And I was able to feed Riley a lot in the pack room over there. So he's pooping some out now. We got a big climb ahead of us, and I'll give an update later. I always feel like I'm in such a rush, because I'm often in such a rush. Especially when I get to like a place like a grocery store or a town or, you know, a visitor center like Pinkham Notch here. Because, come on, Riley, because I'm always fighting the daylight. I don't want to hike too much in the night. And I have things, you know, whatever I'm trying to do, it's at the expense of hiking and making progress on the trail and minimizing having to hike at night. So I don't feel great about not having very much time left before dark. But it was very nice of the 2 hikers that we met. Their names are Chris and George. They're both 74 years old, but they're very, very fit, very experienced hikers. Not just hikers, very experienced outdoors adventure guys. They have experience like rock climbing and boating and hiking as well. And yeah, they saw us at Madison Hut as we were passing by there last night. We stopped in to fill up on water, so several people saw us because they were in the middle of their pre-dinner talk at that time. And they passed us on trail and said hi. And then Riley and I kind of hiked with them the rest of the way into Pinkham Notch. And they needed to go pick up one of the other guys' cars at Crawford Notch, I believe. And they were going to pass by the supermarket on the way, so they just offered to give us a ride there. And I was able to get a 5-pound bag of dog food. What are you doing, Riley? What are you doing, sir? Just calm down. And 2 cans of soup. I got 3 packages of glazed pastries that were at reduced price because I think they were close to expiring, like maybe day-old pastries or something. So each package of 3 was only like $1.44, which I thought was a good deal. The Wildcats are starting us off nice and easy. Riley, let me go first, buddy. And I got a half gallon of chocolate milk, which I was able to drink a good chunk of, but I still have about 3/4 of a liter left. And I also got a half gallon of orange juice, which I didn't drink any of, so I've packed that out. So I'm very heavy on fluids right now. Riley, what are you doing? We gotta go. And what else did I get? Yeah, I got a large jar of chunky peanut butter. I've really been missing peanut butter almost all through the whites. I love to have peanut butter with me. It goes well with so many things. So I got some peanut butter. I got a 1 pound bag of baby carrots. And what else did I get? I think that might be all. And then when we got back, I fed Riley a bunch and charged my devices while I was organizing everything. And yeah, and now we're finally moving again. Also, I was able to check out the hiker box at Pinkham Notch, which was down in the pack room, and I picked up 2 things. One, I picked up this gray shirt. It seems like a really nice hiking shirt. So now I have 3 shirts. And there was a really nice puffy jacket, Eastern Mountain sports brand, that was also in the hiker box. And I decided to take that also, even though I already have a puffy jacket. So I'm really stocking up on all these hiker boxes. Like each hut has a hiker box, and then Pinkham Notch has a hiker box. And I've been able to stock up on a lot of cold weather gear to help make sure we stay warm. Last night at Madison Hut, I looked through the hiker box and there was a nice REI beanie, like basically hat to keep my head warm, that I picked up. So now I have 3 shirts, 3 long sleeve shirts, 2 puffy jackets, 2 rain jackets. Plus my liner and my I think it's a 40-degree sleeping bag, which is kind of not sufficient by itself for keeping us warm, but in combination with everything else I have, I'm now very confident that I will be able to stay warm, and Riley will be able to stay warm. Because now I can wear 1 puffy jacket and I can give the other to Riley as a blanket. And those puffy jackets are super warm. Or I can give them both rain jackets as a blanket, and I can wear both puffy jackets. Yeah. I am very well prepared for cold weather at this point. But we gotta get moving. The light at the end of the tunnel is Gorham. That was what I was thinking today. I was not expecting to go into a grocery store and resupply. I tried to be. Oh, I also got the other thing I got is I got a loaf of garlic bread, which was like $1.50. So I have plenty of good food to eat for the next 25 miles or so, about 25 miles to Gorham. So that's good news. Why does Riley do that? He pulls back on me, and then he goes forward and passes me. And now he stops. Why do you do that, Riley? I should have more patience, Riley, shouldn't I? But I'm also cognizant that the sun is going to disappear at some point. Are you cognizant of that, Riley? You don't seem concerned. Yeah, I'd like to try to... The steep uphill has not started yet, but it will start soon. And I would like to try to see if we can ascend most of this uphill and get to a good campsite tonight. So the first trail out of Pinkham Notch was called the Lost Pond Trail, and that went on for a mile, and it was mostly flat terrain. And then we switched on to the Wildcat Ridge Trail, which we're on now, and now we are definitely going uphill. This is a sample of how steep it is. Hold up, buddy. And the more I have time to think about stuff now, I'm kind of regretting my decision to go into that grocery store. Yeah, I don't think it was a good decision. I should have just kept going. Because we are very close to the town of Gorham. And I would be able to resupply there, and I think pretty sure I had enough food to get us to Gorham. And now, by going into the grocery store, I kind of wasted like 4 hours of hiking time, about. I didn't realize it was going to be so much time. But I mean, just a big chunk of that time is just the time that, spent after getting back and then having to organize everything in my pack. And now also my pack is just super way heavier than it was. And hiking up this really steep mountain with a heavier pack was just absolutely not necessary. So hold up, buddy. Hold up, buddy. Another bad decision made by me. But it is what it is, and I just got to make the best of it now. Just got to try to get up this mountain and continue to make progress. And hold up, buddy. And certainly stay safe. And definitely get to a shelter tonight somehow. I mean, when I say shelter, I mean a tent site. This uphill continues for about 2 miles. And then we get onto the ridge, which is more, yeah, it's not going to be as steep as this. So We just got to complete these 2 miles, hopefully before dark. And then probably just find the next campsite. Hold up, buddy. Hold up, Riley. Stay there. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up. At least this trail is, even though it's very steep, Riley. At least this part of the trail, it's just one step up after another. There's not, you know, it's very doable for Riley. It doesn't involve sorry that I'm so discombobulated with my words here. Yeah, it's just very steep, so I mean it's not easy, but each step is at least manageable. Hold up, Riley. I guess what I'm trying to say is that so far there's not like huge boulders that require creative means to get up and over. So I said we didn't have any stuff that required like creative means to get up and over. Seems like we're getting to these sections now. Hold up, buddy. Yeah. Riley, come on, go ahead. We can just go up this way, I think. Riley, go ahead. I'm gonna let Riley go first here. Come on, Riley. Come on, go ahead. Come on, you're fine, Riley. Go ahead. How do you want to go, Riley? What's the best way? What's the best way, Riley? Oh, you're whimpering, Riley. Come on, Riley. Go ahead. You're fine, Riley. Go ahead. Go on. Riley, come here. Come on, Riley. Oh, buddy. Yeah, it would really be nice to have just the same pack that I had before going to the grocery store at this point. Riley, come on. How do you want to get up? Come on. If he can see a way, he will get up that way. Come on. But if he has trouble, then come on. Want to go up this way? Come on. Up this way. I feel like if I can just get him up here, then he can just walk up. Come on, Riley. Come on. Riley, come on. There you go, Riley. Come on. Get on up there. There you go. Good job. Hold up, buddy. Stay there, Riley. Stay there, buddy. You're fine, Riley. Stay there, Riley. Riley, stay there. Stay there. You're fine, buddy. Stay there. Riley, just stay there. Shh. Riley, just stay there. You're fine. Ah, you're fine, Riley. You're fine. Okay, up here, Riley. Come on. There you go. Good job, buddy. Stay there, Riley. Stay there, buddy. stay there. You're fine, Riley. Stay there. Riley, stay there. Here we go. This is good. Riley, stay there, buddy. Well done, Riley. Hold up, buddy. Riley, hold up. Hold up, buddy. All right, so that's, I think it's Route 16 down there, where we came from. Good job, Riley. I told Chris and George the story about what happened to us last Saturday, going up South Kinsman. And they tried to make me feel better by saying that they both have made many bad decisions in their adventure careers, and that they've learned from each one of them. So that was nice. We had a good conversation. All right. Riley and I just gotta hike this, so we'll get it done. We're getting there. Mr. Riley. All right, so we're making progress. This Wildcat range has like 5 different peaks, and they're labeled with letters. It's like Wildcat Peak A, B, C, D, E, I think. And going northbound, we encounter, we go in reverse order. So I think this one is like either D or E, or we might not even be at one of the peaks yet, because we still have uphill to go here. But we've done a heck of a lot of uphill already. So we gotta say, good job, Riley. We gotta take our, take satisfaction in our progress. Down there, I believe, is where the Pinkham Notch Visitor Center is, and the lodge is. Chris and George, by the way, are staying. Riley, hey, hold up, buddy. They are staying at the lodge tonight. Joe Dodge Lodge is the name of it. And hold up, oh, Riley. And they said they're gonna have dinner at the restaurant. It's a buffet style dinner, and I saw the menu and it looks amazing. And then they are planning to continue on tomorrow. The same direction that Riley and I are going right now. They're gonna try to get to Carter Notch Hut. I think there might be somebody up here. There's definitely somebody up here. Riley senses somebody. Hold up. Hold up, Riley. Yeah, there's somebody. Oh. Somebody's right up there. Hold up, Riley. It's okay, Riley. Watch out, Riley. That's the moon. It is definitely time to find a campsite, but I feel like we are definitely at like a high point. We might get to a higher point, but we've climbed a long way. I realize the camera doesn't pick up anything but, the light here. But yeah, we've climbed a long way, and we're taking the next campsite we find. All right, come on, Riley. Hold up.
All right, Riley and I are back here.
It's been a decent while since I last had the camera on, but we have not gotten very far on the trail. Yeah, so that's because last time I took video, we were up on the rock face and had a very nice view, and I said we're going to take the next campsite. And then we had this little descent, and we got off the rock and back onto some dirt trail, and immediately to our left there was a campsite. Not a huge campsite, but a spot for a tent with flat ground, big enough for us to, or for me to set up our 2-person tent. And so I decided to take it. And yeah, so that's where we are. We're just a few feet away from that peak that we were just at. But now we're off the peak. We're under trees on nice flat dirt. So we're in a good spot for the night. And so we hiked about 8 miles today, which is not very many, but it's typical of what we're doing in the White Mountains. We actually had pretty nice trail to start the day, especially coming into Pinkham Notch. And then once we got to the Wildcat Ridge Trail, we so once we got to the Wildcat Ridge Trail, that was after we spent so much time at the grocery store and then in the pack room organizing my stuff. That's where our pace slowed considerably, but that was to be expected. We made it about I think we made it about 1.4 miles up the Wildcat Ridge Trail. And we've done most of the elevation gain that we have to do. I think the actual high point is like about 0.6 of a mile from where we are. And there's a ski gondola there. Anyway, the important thing is we are in our tent, and we have done the majority of the elevation gain to get up onto the Wildcat Ridge, and we're about 3.1 miles away, I think, from Carter Notch Hut, and we're also about a little less than 19 miles away from U.S. Route 2, which leads into Gorham, New Hampshire. So that's all just information there. I recognize that when I was coming down Mount Washington, and there were so many people, so many hikers like hiking up to Mount Washington, and Riley was getting distracted, and he wasn't like walking with me the way I wanted him to. I was getting frustrated, and not frustrated at Riley. I was more frustrated just at the situation, and frustrated that there were so many hikers around, and that was what was causing Riley to be reluctant to move forward. But at the same time, like, I have so many positive interactions with hikers that are around. Like, there's definitely a lot more hikers in the White Mountains, a lot more like day hikers and section hikers. And I have so many positive interactions with lots of them that I don't capture on camera. So many people are just very interested in what we're doing, and they'll ask if we're a thru hiker, or they'll just stop to say hi to Riley. And yeah, that's all really wonderful. So I definitely don't capture most of that on camera, nor do I talk about a lot of it. But I just want to mention that it is. I have a lot of positive interactions with people, and that helps to brighten our days, brighten my day. It's always nice to have good conversations with people. Let's see. Yeah, there's so many people that are just like really fascinated by people that are doing a real long hike, and they'll they see the big beard that I have, and they'll assume that we're hiking the AT, and they always ask, where did we start, and how long have we been out, when did we start. And it's kind of cool to see how people are, just see people's reactions, and people want to try to, well, I wouldn't say, some people want to try to support us in whatever way they can, but people, a lot of people are just very friendly, and they give words of encouragement, and that's very, very nice when that happens. So I'm kind of rambling here. It's not a super chilly night, but it's on the chilly side. It's a little chillier than last night, but I think it's still relatively warm compared to what it's been like over the last week or a couple weeks prior to last night. My puffy jacket that I found in the hiker box at Pinkham Notch is working out great. I have it on right now, and it's super warm. And I have my other puffy jacket on Riley as a blanket for him. And yeah, my pack is definitely heavier, but it's not the worst problem to have. It just means I have good food to eat. So I enjoyed a can of soup, which is something I am not usually able to do, but I enjoyed a can of soup for dinner tonight. I got clam chowder soup. That's one of the things I got in the grocery store. And the other can of soup that I got is chicken dumpling soup. I got them primarily because they have like a creamy base. And that just seemed very appetizing to me. So tonight I had the clam chowder with a good portion of the garlic bread that I got, and that was quite delicious. So I'm gradually able to lighten my pack by eating good food, which is nice to do. Riley is sleeping well right now. He's kind of fidgeting in his sleep, which means I think it just means that he's sleeping well and that he's content. So according to Far Out, we are at mile 1880.1 on the trail. So we have, yeah, we're making progress. This Wildcat Mountain range is like probably the last the last like big mountain range to get over in the White Mountains. There's also a big climb after Carter Notch Hut, which is only, like I said, it's only about 3 miles north of here. There's a climb tomorrow after Carter Notch Hut that's called Carter Dome. That's the peak of the mountain. And that looks like a pretty steep climb, but not as steep as the Wildcat Mountains. And then from there we have some a few rises and falls, and then there's another big climb called Mount Moriah. Not a huge climb, but a little bit of a climb. That's about 12 miles or so, maybe a little more than 12 miles from where we are now. And then from there, it looks like it's just about all downhill for the next 6 miles or so into Gorham. And I'm not sure where the official end of the White Mountains is. I've been thinking that it's basically like once we get to Gorham, we're done with the White Mountains, and we have another 15 miles or so before we get to the New Hampshire Maine border. But we're definitely getting close to being done with the White Mountains. The Pinkham Notch is the last notch in the White Mountain range, and Carter Notch Hut is the last hut, which we'll get to tomorrow. So we're getting close to the end of the White Mountains. The trail doesn't necessarily get easier. Maine is a very difficult state, especially southern Maine. So the trail will continue to be very difficult. But on the positive side, I think there will be more shelter options compared to what we've been experiencing in the White Mountains. Like there will be more actual shelters that we can stay in, as opposed to huts, and there should be more stealth camping options. So that's sort of something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, just getting through the White Mountain Range, which we're close to getting through, I think is a big accomplishment. So something that I'm very pleased with. And yeah, so I'll stop rambling here. I will close out the day and say goodnight. Hope everyone's doing well, and Riley and I will check in tomorrow for Monday, September 16th. It'll be day 137, I believe. All right, bye for now.